Okay, let's start today's class. So today we're going to see two topics. One of would be the calendar. As Rajiv asked on the last class, how we can do automate the calendar. So assume that this is your application. Okay, path2usa.com. This is your application, and there is a calendar up here, date calendar. Okay, so from here you have to select your calendar. So what's really happened when you have a date field? If you just click on the date field, and if it's a pop-up, the window open with the date field, by default it's open with the current month. So this is your, it will never will show your previous month. It doesn't make sense. So by default it will open with the current month with the dates, and then the available dates. So then you can select any one of the dates from this month or future month. That's the two option. So if you you know want to select any date from the future months, you have to click on this arrow, right? Say October, November, say December, and then say 20 or 12, right? So that's the way people they save it, and that's the way the date calendar field it works, right? So again, if I you have to, if you refresh it, it's automatically, when you go first time, it's easily always open. You click on there on the date field, it's always open the present month, the current month, right? So it opens the current month. So your automation scope is to test either any dates in the current month or any dates from the future months. Okay, that's your automation scopes. So selecting or testing the dates from the current month, it's much more easier than the future month. Future months is a little bit typical, because you have to go through uh, uh, use this button, this arrow button, until you match your to your desired month, and then select the dates. Selecting dates is the same process, any months you do, but typical part is selecting the your month, if the month is future. Because if it's not future, it's current, it's easy. It's because it's popped up with the current month. Now what would be the, so our testing, our this class lesson would be to selecting the future months. If you know the future months, then you will know the current months. It's very easy. It's much easier than the current month. It's much easier than future months. So we'll do the the tougher one, the harder one. So say assume that our uh, uh, testing, it's like any month. So right now it's September. Say December 12th we're going to select. So this is the month, and after that you will select the dates, right? So for selecting the month, you have to click this one up until you find your desired month. So here's the two object. One is your months with the year. This is one object. Another object is using this arrow. Okay, so here's a few things you have to know. Usually, the people, when they design the calendar, there's a very common things. They use the dates in a one group class, and also the month in another group months. So say example, let's see this. If I want to spy the month, this September, right? So select spy. Okay, here you can see, the class. This is the HTML code for month of September. It's a class name is date picker dash switch, and the text is September 200 2020, right? So if you go, let's move on another month, October or November, any months. Then again, use spy this month. Okay, you see the class name is date picker switch. It's the same class name for the September we saw. Here is only the attribute for this the object the month object, it's a class. We can't use, there is nothing else over here, right? There's a tab and there's a class, so we can use a class name, but it's a class name. The the class attribute, the value, it's the same for every month. Only difference is text. Okay, that's one of the thing. It's very common. So any month you select, you will see the class name. The class name over here is the same. Only difference would be the text. So if I want to come over here, traverse for this month or any month, for this is one of the child of tr, right? So tr is the parent of child, and there's a couple of three child th. There's a first one, this is the second one, this is the third one. So your months, it's always in second th. So if you traverse, so you can traverse from tr, and before tr you need a unique id. So this is not, since this class name is not a unique, this class name, it's the same for all of the months. So to make it unique, you may traverse from your parent or grandparent. So for the parent, the parent is tr, and tr doesn't have any other attribute. This is just a tag. So you can go a little bit further back. For further back, not this, nothing over here. Here is a class name, but this is represent the whole table. You don't need the whole table, right? I need, how about from here I can maybe traverse either from table or from there. The deep class, the deep is, there is a class name, is a date picker days. From there I may traverse from there. You can avoid this one because both are, it pretty much looks same. So maybe you can, from here you can come to tr, which is very specifically just part the object, it's for the months and the error, and then from there you can come over here, right? This is, which is very specifically for the month, of the calendar. And then it has a only difference, the text. We'll see the text. So this is one thing, I'm just giving you background information. So when we're going to create an object, the locator for those object, then you will see this why you use those, and what's the difference. And similarly, let's see any date. So select 12 or 20, any date. If for any month, any date, you will see their attribute all are same. See over here, doesn't matter what date you select, it has only one attribute, which is the again class, and the class equals to value is date, and only the difference is the date itself. So this is the dates, you can say text, right? Dates is over here, it's a text, you can see, but the attribute, only one attribute, which is the class. So if you use class name equals to day, it will find multiple element, it will find group of element, because by this class name, you have all the more than one element. So your web driver will find multiple elements. So you can say, if you use the class over here for to pick or to select any one of your date, it will find group of elements, and from there, only the difference is from there we can use the text. Remember in other class what we did, I mean, if you have a multiple elements, so example from here, for this we may create a for loop. We can say driver dot find elements by class name would be day, then it will find the number of elements, I mean number of dates, all the dates it will find. So multiple elements it will find. Then if you use size method, so size method will find the total number of dates you have by this group, by this class name, which is group, right? All the elements will find. And then you can run your for loop, use the count, like the count, how many, by use the size, you can put the number, so you can use that number for your for loop condition, right? And after that, inside this, you say, okay, in your index number of when index number of 0, it means the first element, and what's the text, get the text. So say driver define elements by class name day dot get I when it's, since you have a for loop and for loop value is started with I equals to 0, so it means it will pick the first one, and dot get text, whatever the text. Here is the only the text is number is 8 is, you can consider as a text, even this number, but you can consider as a text, this one, right? Between this two, opening and closing the tag, if you have some elements like this, it can be, you can treat this one as a text. So 8 is could be considered as a text. So if it's a text, your return type would be a string. So you can get this text, put in a variable, and then you compare, you put in a if condition, and whatever the text you find, you compare, is it equals to your desired number, your desired text. What's your desired text? Say you want to select 12. If it's a match, then you say, okay, if it's a match based on the your index number, select that element and jump out from the loop. So that's the way we can select one of the your date. And for month, since all the class name for the month object is same, so what our condition would be, if you want to select any future month, our condition would be similar, you will use the driver.find element, whatever you use, CSS selector or XPath, and then you will say your condition would be until you get the text from this object, right? Since all of the object, the XPath or CSS selector locator would be the same, so when you click on, it will be by default the current month, September, right? So it will find the September by the XPath, by the locator, or whatever the locator you use, it will find the current month. But you are not looking for current month, you are looking for, say, December. So you are saying you will get the text, you will get the text, or you can say, in this object, whatever the text is contained, you will match your desired content, you match your desired object, like you are looking for December. You will say that until you find the this object contains have a December word, until you find it, you click on this arrow button. So it will click on it, it will get this object, and it will see what's the text contain over here. It has a November, but you will compare, okay, if it's not December, you click on this button. So until it will find the December, it will click on this button. So and when it will be December, it will find, it will match, okay, yeah, this object contains a December word, and you are looking for December too. So this is your desired object. That time you will click, okay, then you select this month, I mean this month, and then you will select your date. Does that make sense? A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, that's the pretty much. I know it's not straightforward, but this is the best way I found. You can select your future months. If it's current, that's not a problem. You will find the right way. As soon as you click pop up, it will find this September. But if you have to select future months, then you have to put some condition. Then okay, you whatever the object you find for the month, you compare what's that word contains on that object, and then you will say, okay, I want to compare, because my looking month is December, so your contain object will compare your desired object. If it's not, until it's found it, you click on this arrow button. So those things we can put some on probably while condition. So let me now go to here. Let me show here. So here, example, this is the code. So this is for a month, okay? Select a month of May. say example, since when I did it was the future month, so May, let's select month of December 2020, right? So this is the object for the this is the object for this the month for this, because every well, no matter what month you select, we just saw it has the same class, right? This is the same class. So if you traverse from your parents from here to here, you can use, so this is a class name and also this is a class name. And just another tips is if you use a class name, if you use your attribute as a class name, that time it's better to use as a CSS selector. Class name works better with as a CSS selector, the locator. So here is you have a two class, here is your parents and here is your child over here. So you can use a CSS selector, and that's better option. And Selenium works better CSS selector if you use class name attribute. So your class name this, and also there is a two class name. So if there is a two class name, we can traverse from parents to child using class name, like we use we have seen that we can traverse parents to child or grandparents to child using XPath. Similarly, you can use CSS selector also to traverse from parents to child, and that time. So by CSS selector, this is your syntax for CSS selector. Very simple. CSS selector syntax is easier or simpler than XPath when you traverse parent to child. So your class, your started with the class what's called CSS selector for your class for your parents, CSS selector for parent, space, and then CSS selector for child. So for the, I guess you remember that CSS selector for any element would be started. There is no double forward slash. Double forward slash is started for the XPath, like this over here. Double forward slash then tag name. But CSS selector, you don't need to put the double forward slash. You can put the tag name, or you can even ignore the tag name. That time and also you don't need to put the @ You will directly put your attribute and equals to, in single quotation, the value of your attribute. In this case, your attribute is class for the parent one, and the value is date picker days. If you go there, you'll see here is a date pickers dates, class date picker dates, and then there will be space for, and then your child class, the element is attribute is class date picker switch. So it would be very simple, and one is space and then class. This is the CSS selector for your child. You have to make sure you put a space. A lot of people, they forget, even I forgot when I did. Okay, so there will be a space over here. So that's your CSS selector for your the object, any months you select. So the difference only the text. So what I'm saying, so I put this one in a say month variable and put in a object. Its return type is web element. So what I'm saying, so in this variable, the month variable, it means this locator. So this locator, it's the current month's locator, because when you open, when the driver will search, driver will click over here and it will automatically open on current month. So it will find September 2020. So you are saying, but we're not looking for September 2020, we're looking for December 2020. So you are saying, so I will use a while method. We're saying, so what about the, for this locator dot get text. So it will, from this locator, it will get the text. The text will be September 2020, because it's by default, it's the current month. I'm saying, whatever the text of this locator for this variable, whatever the text, I'm saying dot contains, I'm looking for, this is my desired one. I'm looking for contains, it's say instead of May it will be December. Say you can say December, right? So for this locator you will get a text which is September, but I'm saying where contains December. It means this is my desired the text. So this whole code is false, isn't it? Because it will, by following this code over here, it will get, this will follow, if you it will get, if you follow this, our driver will follow this code and it will find contains, and when it go to the contents it will find September, but over here I'm saying December. It means this is false. So I'm saying I put another negation. There's a negation. This is called negation or negative sign. So I'm saying negative of negation of negative. So this is not true. It means indirectly what I'm saying over here. Let me go here. Clear. Or open here. I'm saying while the first it will find false, the element will find false, right? And then I'm saying not equals to false, negation of false, which is what does it mean? This is false because this code is not true. If it follows, our driver will follow this locator and then it will follow the code. Next one is get text. So the get text method will apply to this locator, right? This variable, it means locator. So it will get the text of this locator. So this locator, it means current month. By default it's a current month, and it will get the text which is September 2020, right? September. So and then I'm saying this, compare, contains, compare that it has a contains December. I'm looking December, it contains on this text, but but it's not getting the December. It will get the September. So it's false. That's why I'm saying while it's false. Here it's a while false, but I put another negation. Either negation of false, it means indirectly this is true. Okay, so because I'm using a while method. Remember that how the while loop is work. While loop will work. While loop, its a structure is this. You will have a, remove this, true. If you have your condition is over there inside is true, and then it will get inside. This is your body. So whatever is the body code, it will execute the code. This is the syntax of while loop. So while keyword, your true condition. If the condition is true, it will go inside and execute the code. If it's not true, it will not execute the code. So make it true as per our situation. What we get? We get false, because if it's a follow the code for the locator of the month, it will find that get text method will find the current month, which is September. But I'm not looking for September, I'm looking for December. That's why I use another method, which is contains method. Help you to compare whatever the get text method find. So get text method will find from which is the September, but I'm using a contains method, and I'm saying okay, in your get text, do you have a contains December word? This will compare. So this is false, it will not find December. So I'm saying not equals to, false, it means it's true. So if it's so now is this is this over here, you can say it's true. Not equals to false means it's true. So if your while condition, you have a true inside, your condition is true on your while loop, it will get inside. So what do you want? I want over here, as long as if this loop will continue until over here this condition is true. This condition over here it's find the word, what is this, it's find the word December. So this is over here what I'm doing, all I'm doing, locate this button, where locate this arrow button and click up here. That's what I'm doing over here. Inside I'm just locating this arrow button, this one, say you can use XPath, whatever. So locate this arrow button and click up there. That's I1. So every time it will check, every time it will check this condition. In this current month, do have a contains word is December, so it will not find, it's false. So since I put negation, it will go inside. And what do you want to do? You want to locate this double arrow. This is the whole locator for the double arrow. You can see double arrow, and then you click up there. So it will click up there, so it will move to the next month. Again it will come back over here, so it will be from September to now this get text method will find the current month, which is October. But is October have a contain December? No, it's not true, it's a false. So negation of false, it means true. So this is now true. It will come back again and it will click on this arrow button. Does that make sense? So this way this will continue, will keep continue, and when it will be December, your get text method will find the December, and this contains method will have the find the December. It means the get text and the contains both are same. So it means this part is true. So true of negation is false. So if your condition is false for the for loop, for the while loop, it will not get inside. So it will not do anything. Okay, so it means you are already on. That's what I want. So you will be that time on December over here. Now, time to select your date. So how are we gonna select your date? Let's go to the code. Here, for selecting your date, as I said, for dates we have seen, doesn't matter what date you select, all of them have just only one attribute, which is class, and its value is date. Only difference again is it's a number, or you can say this is the text. So I can use the class attribute, I can use the class attribute, and then as a group. So it's the same like radio button we did. It's the same concept we use. I use a driver.find elements by class name day, because day, the value, the class name day is representing group of element, which is all of the dates, the active dates. So I use find elements, and I put in a variable which is called dates. And since it has a it has a repeating elements, like all are dates, all are just dates, right? Different dates. So it's the same type of object. So I put, that's why I have to put in a, remember this is a list we use, right? A list and set. So this is list because it's in all of the dates are same type of wave element. Return type is wave element, and it's you put in a list array where you have a group of elements, same type of group of element, which is the date. And then I use size method, the same same variable, and so it will size method will give me how many active dates or element I have. So I know I put in a variable count. So this count variable will have the knowledge about how many how many elements you have by this object, right? In this object, how many elements you have. So I can use this count. So this is the number. Say you have a over here example, you have active probably from 6 to 31. So those are the active. So those are the number of elements you have. So I have to run a loop, and each and every element will go start from the first one, say 6. It will check 6, it will go the 6, and it will grab the text from this element, so which is the text is just nothing is 6, and put in a variable, say variable a. So a variable will have the knowledge this text 6, and then I will put another if condition. Is there a value of a, or the text of a equals to 20, because I want to select the 20. So I'm saying that the text is finding from this group of element one by one, is that equals to 20? If it's not, I will ignore that, right? So if so eventually it will run the loop, it will go to the next element. and it will compare my desired one. Then it is false. No. So for loop will keep continue, and when the text is 20 and also it will match with my desired one, the text is 20, I will say okay, based on your index number where you find this value 20, the text is 20, click on there, select this element and click on there. That's why, so to select this, right, to select so you have to click it, right? So that's what I'm doing here too. If I go here, I run for loop. So now count is, because why I need the count, to need so that I can use this count in my for loop as a condition, because I have to tell you in a for loop, remember the for loop syntax, that you have to tell this is your initial where you are going to start, and this is your condition, the how many times you want to run your for loop. So that's why you need to count as many numbers, active numbers or element you have, you want to run your for loop until that many times, right? And if you start from the 0, that's why you put the less than condition. So your I started from 0. If you put 1, so it will be less than equal. So since we're starting our journey from 0, which is the first element, so we're saying I less than count. So it should be total number less than one less than 1 of your total number. So I less than count, then I plus plus. So inside this is the same variable, because this is the only element, the locator we have for all the numbers. So we're saying the locator for all the numbers, locators for all the numbers dot get I. Get I, it means based on the index number. So when your index number is 0, when is I is 0, it means over here I is your index number is 0, it means the first element. Locator from the group of elements for all the dates, follow the index number. When it means when index number 0, it means the first element, get the text of that element. So it means for the first element it will get the text, say 6 if it started with the 6, and put this one in a variable called text. And since this is a return the get text always return the string number, so you taking this number or as a text, so it is a return type is a string. So your text, this variable will have the knowledge every individual number or text for every element from the dates calendar, from the all the dates. So when index number 0, so it will have the value of the first one, right? And then I'm saying okay, compare this first one, the text dot equals ignore case or equals method with compare what's I'm looking for 20. So the value of this text will have the first one, which is maybe 6. So I'm saying equals, compare this, is that equals to 20? If is a match, this is the body of if method. Locate the same object, all the group of elements based on the get I. So whatever the when you get this text equals to 20, so whatever the index number, based on that index number, click on that element. So that will let you select that element, and as soon as you find that element, you don't need to run this loop. Maybe you will find your desired element before it's finished all the elements one by one. So as soon as you find it, you will use the break keyword. Remember, we use the Java, we learn the break and continue. Break, it means it will help you to jump out from your loop, so it will come out from your loop. So that's all we need. Okay, so but if your first one will definitely not match, so because first one will start from the say 6, 7, 8, whatever, so it will start from the today's, like if we run today's, it will start 12, right? It will, so your first one would be text variable will have the value is 12, which is not match 20. So if it's not match, it will not get inside. The if condition will not get inside until this condition is true. Until it's true, right? So it will ignore, it will not go, it will come back over here. So it will compare, increment the value of I is from 0 to 1. So it means 1, it means it will move to the next element, right? It will move to the from 12 to, it will move to the 13. So I is now this one, sorry, 12 to this one is 13, right? So now is the text So your index is 1. So one is index is 1. The get text method will get the text based on your index number, so which is the 13. So your text value would be 13. So 13 dot equals ignore case or equals. You can use any method, equals, ignore case, or equals. You know, text to 13 dot 13 is equals to 20. No, it will come back again over here and increment the value of I. So I now is 2. It means it will move to the next one, which is 14. So text will have this 14, right? So even this way it will compare, it will get the value of the text will variable will get the value of your element of the date based on your index number, and that variable will compare with our desired, is that equals or not. If it's equals, go there, select that element whatever the index number was, and then click up there. And then when you find the desired one, jump out from your loop. You don't need to run your loop anymore. Is that clear? Make sense, everyone?
Yeah, kind of.
Right? So
Shareful, I think this website isn't working for me. I'm not able to inspect the elements. Can someone else try?
Let me give you the another link for our Zoom. I think so we have 1 minute left. Okay, then we'll see. Okay.
Okay.
The date, the travel date. So if you click over here, it'll automatically pop up, the calendar. Usually it's pop up on the current date, say the current month. So right now it's it's supposed to pop up like this, and then you can select either any current month, any date from the current month, or any future. So let's do a future month, say December or January, February, any month. Just example, let's do it December and or any future month, because it's the same process. Okay, as long as it's future month. So right now it's November, so I will select any month from December. So example, from December 12th. So similarly, when you are going to see the video or your test, it's going to be your selected month is going to be the feature from your current month. So this is the exercise for selecting the current month, future month. So say 20. So first, we have to select this month, like your month will be current month after you click on pop up, and then you have to make sure that we have to click on this button until it's find the month we're looking for. So example, we're looking for December. So this is our first condition to match our month, and then we can spy our date. So example 12. So we can spy that. Let's do it. First we'll launch in this page. Say we need to spy this field first. Okay, so it has ID. It has ID. We can use this ID. There is a tag name is input. So input is a tag and we can use ID. Let's create a video. This is the XPath for this search box. So this is the search box XPath, and after that, let's do it and then play. So let's get back to calendar. Okay, with our Eclipse. So I create a class. It's called feature calendar, and here is a prerequisite. It's like we have to use a set property method to set or to look at our web driver. I'm using Chrome driver, and then the relationship between web driver interface and the Chrome driver class. And then I use window and maximize method to maximize the window. I use the delete all cookies to clear all of the cookies from our browser. I put some implicitly wait, say 5 seconds, and this is the the page to land. So use the get method, and then I use. So this is the first we got to clear. This is the XPath. We just saw the spy or the search box, the date, the box where you click on, and then it's a pop up the window. So first I layer the box. It's better to clear to make sure there's no the previous history is or any previous date is selected, and then click up there. So up to now it will pop up the the date window. So next, what's next? The next would be select our month. So let's select our month, right? So our month would be, here is the one thing, our targeted month is the December. If you see any month, okay, let's see, I can show you. There's something when you select month or day from calendar, you have to notice. You'll see it's some attribute will be the same. Say November. You can see November. Okay, so you can see that the class is a date picker switcher. This is a class, and the text is only difference, but the class is same, and it is one of the child class. It is one of the child, like th, one of the child under tr, and it has a grandparent like table class, and it has a grand parent. It's a deep class. It's a deep picker. So this is the main grandparents. It started the journey from here to here, from here to we don't need this thread.
Here is the one thing. I mean, I used a CSS selector, but it's not like you have to use the CSS selector. You can traverse using XPath. Okay, you may try at home, you know, like. But I feel like it's a CSS selector. It's a bit since it's only one option that only one attribute over here. Both of the parents and child is available, which is a class. So I know this for a class, CSS selector works better, so that's why I prefer CSS selector. But you may try with XPaths if you want to traverse from your parent to child. Okay.
Yes, we can use this one or directly one of the chat. If you move, you can select. So it's a grandparent classes, date picker dates, and also the month classes, date picker switch. If you go to December, let's see, it's fine. You can see it's the same. It's grandparent. Its classes date picker days, and also classes the month classes the date picker switch. So all the month, doesn't matter what month you select, it's the same. Only the difference is the text. So we have to a little bit optimized way to write our locator for the month, so that it specifically says the month we're looking for, the month of December, or looking for the text contains is the December. So we'll start our journey from the grandparent, like classes date pickers days. We can use CSS selector or XPath is fine, but CSS selector will be let's code just the class name. This is the class name, and another class like this. Okay, and then we'll use get text up to this get text, and then we'll say get text dot contains, and then we'll say December. So that would be our targeted. That will be locator for the December. Our targeted month is December. So let's do it. So make sure this we need two class. One is from the parent. Grandparent is this class is date pickers, and also another one is date picker switch. So classes, this is the two. So we'll create a CSS selector. So we'll say driver dot find element by dot css selector, and then since it's CSS selector we're saying, so we're going to use, there's no at the rate, there's no double slash, so directly the attribute name is a class, the grandparent name is a class is date picker, date picker, DICKER, date dash days, and this the child would be so we have to make sure the child, so this is the parent, and then the child would be also class equals to, we saw that the class equals to date picker switch, right? Date picker dash switch, date picker dash switch, and then this is our total CSS selector for this for the month, any month.
Just notice that I didn't put any space over here between this these two CSS selector. Okay, so this is not right, this is wrong. Okay, you will see later on the video, but this is not right. So when you use the CSS selector, especially traverse from parent to child, you use the CSS selector, always remember there will be a space between this in the two elements, between the your parents and parents and child elements. Okay,
then we have to make sure we'll get the get text dot, we're looking for the month contains December, right? Put the value December, right? Okay. So this is the locator. Okay, this is the total, final locator. This locator, just remember, this is the common locator for any month, CSS selector for any month. We're saying, when you click on the calendar, it will pop up the current month. So this will match the current month, but we're looking for month of December. So we'll get the text, whatever is the month after we click in the pop-up. We're saying get text, and then we'll say we're matching on the text, so it will get the text of the month, whatever is popped up. We're looking for, it should have contained December. So we're putting this one. If it's not, we're putting this one in a while condition. We're saying while, put this one in a bracket. What's it? Okay, we're saying while I'm looking for the month, while it's a month, looking for a object what contains December. So when you click on that calendar, it will pop up usually always the current month, so it's not gonna match. So I'm saying until it's match, click on that until it's match. Here is the thing, until, so it will pop up usually current month. So until it's match, or saying until it's match, click on this button. That's my the target of the plan. So we're saying here, so this is our target, but when it will open the calendar, it will not match with the December. It will not get that. Get text will not be December. It will be the current month, which will not match. So we're saying if not equals to, so it's not true, right? So we're looking for December, but it will find the month, current month. It will find the current month. So, but we're looking for the future month. So it's not true. So we're putting another negation. So negation of not true, which is true, because while condition is only work when you have a condition is true. Then it will, your compiler will get inside. So I'm saying this is the locator for December, but it will find the current month, which is November. So it will not match. It's not true. This locator is not, this locator is true for December, but it's not true for current one. So I'm saying not I'm not looking for this one, so this is a negative of this locator, which is true. So negative of negation is true, so it will get inside. So I'm saying until you find this locator, click on the next button. So click on the next button, it means this one. Let's inspect it. Okay. This one. Let's go to the next part. Not the right one. Not this. Okay. Okay, this is the relative X bar for this next button. So say driver dot find element by dot X bar by dot X bar and put the path. Okay, put the path. Good, convert vector dot click. So I'm saying while this locator is not true, or is not true, so it's not true. When you go to the current, when it will pop up to current month, it will not true. So and then I put another negation. So negation of not true, it means it's true. So it will get inside. It means until you find the locator what contains the December, click on next button. So this is the locator for the next button. This is the locator for next button, and then click on there. Okay. So I know it's a little bit tricky, but that's the way we can handle it smartly to select our desired month. And after that, we'll look for the day. So let's find out the date. So days here. So example, we're looking for month 12 day 12. So let's spy. Here's a okay. In day, you can see it's saying class is whatever day it's after we select, it will have a class name active day. If you select that one, other one is selected. There's an interesting thing. You see now it's 11 is active, so 12 is now the class is day. So in fact, this active day it's created after it gets selected, and until before it's selected, all of the day, all of the day class are the same. It's like work as a group. You can see all of the the class name is day, class name is day, class name is day. So all of the date, all of the day, current day, it's at the class name have a same attribute, or which is the class name, and it's the value is same like a day. So it's a group. So we have to use it's a group. Okay. So we have to use driver dot. So it's the same class name. We'll use driver dot find elements, and it's a class name, right? So let's use this driver dot find elements. Driver, you will understand that, okay? Just be with me. Driver dot find elements by dot we're using class name. So all of them have the class name. It's a day, right? Because you saw this, like all of them have all of the day has a class name is day. So that's why it will when you select use the class name, it will automatically locate group of element or the group of day. So that's why we use driver to find elements method. and let's put this one, since it will return number of dates, right? So let's put this one in a variable. It's called dates, and then it will return. It's the type is web element. Because those are the web element. Dates are the web element. And I'm gonna use list interface. I'm going to explain here. Okay. Import, okay, list, import all the elements, okay. Make sure you import the right package, okay. So what I'm saying, you can locate all the object by the class name is date. So since it will locate the group of object, so I put all of them in a dates variable. Since it's a more than one element, I put in a list. In a list, it's an interface. It's a part of Java's collections. List an interface. It's allow you to save same type of or different type of data in an array, in an array. But it's one of the reason why we use a list, because it's allow you to save duplicate data. Since by this locator, by dot class name date, it will locate same type of objects. All of them it will locate, first of all it will locate group of object, but all of the objects are same, which is date, right? So that's why it's a duplicate element. That's the reason we use list interface. List interface is a part of, again, it's a part of Java's collection. And no. So it's a part of Java's collection, and it's allow you to save duplicate elements, right? So that's why we use the list. So it's an array, and that array it's saved under dates variable. So dates, this variable now have the knowledge all the locator by the group, all the locator by the dates group, right? So now let's do one more thing. Let's see there are how many. Let's we use. So now our array have all the list of the day. We need to run a loop so that it's look for the right date that we're looking for, like 12. Okay, so to run a loop, we need to run. We'll use the for loop. We need to condition, right? Like its size, how many dates we found by this locator. So let's count it. So let's put in a count variable, or the whole thing. This is the locator. Will give us a total number of date, group of dates. Let's use the size method, and size method will give us total number of dates. It will return. This size method will apply to this locator. So this locator is nothing. It will show the total number of the dates is found by this locator, and size will find out the total number. Let's put in a variable this one. Let's put in a count variable, and it will return integer type since it's a total number. Okay. Now we can use our for loop. For loop integer. Let's put an I equals to 0. Started from the 0, and then I then definitely will be less than count, and then I plus plus. And then we will use our for loop body for for loop. So what we're doing again, we have a list. We have a list array under this dates variable, which is locate, which is the result of all number of same element, which is dates. And so if we know how many the object we have by the same locator, we can run a for loop, and we'll use the for loop, and we'll search our desired date like 12, until we find it. We'll increase the value of I started from the 0 in this array, and then we'll increase the I until we find it. And as soon as we find it, we'll click on we'll click, or we'll select the date, and we'll jump out from the loop, which is we'll use break. So let's see. So we'll say same thing we'll use. Okay. Let's say, so this is the locator. So after we run, it started from I equals to 0, get inside the loop. Okay, so we'll say driver to find the element, get all, not the size, we'll not use the size, we'll say locate all the elements by this locator dot get I. So index of 0, in index of 0, first it will locate all the elements by this locator, and get the I in index of 0, locate the element in index of 0 or index of I. So I is right now 0, and then we'll say get text, and then put in a variable. Let's say text variable, and return that would be in string. So by doing this, what I'm doing, something, locate that element, by this locator based on the index number. So index number is I, is the first index would be 0, so the first element, and get the text of that element. So whatever the text is like, number, text would be the date number. So you'll see this is the text number, right? You can see that each and every one have a only difference is the text, 12, 13, 10, 19, this is the text. So it will start from the first locator, the index number is 0, and then it will get the text, which is the number, and then put that text in a variable called text. So this text variable will have the value of index of I, or which is 0 right now, and we'll compare that text with our desired value. Okay, so we'll say if text dot equals, if text dot equals ignore case, or equals ignore case. Okay, with what our targeted value is 20. So this text will have the value based on our index number. So when an index number 0, it will get the value of in 0 index number and put in a text. Then we'll compare the text with our desired value is 20. We'll compare it. If it's a match, then get inside. If it's a match, we'll select that value, and then we'll jump out from the loop. So how can we select this? We'll say driver dot find elements again from the elements. We'll say same try dot class name. What's the class name? Same there. This is the locator, and if it's a match, we'll say get the I, whatever the get I dot click. So whatever the value for I, the text, whatever the the value for I, the text is matched with the 12. We're saying get that locator based on the index and click on that one, because that's the one we're looking for to select. Okay, if it's not true, go back to the for loop again, increase the value of I. So next increase value will be 1. Then again look for the value of index number, the value of index number 1, and then put in a text variable. And then again that the value of text compared with our desired value is 12. If it's a match, get inside, click on that value or select it. If it's not, go back to loop and keep continue. Okay, as soon as we find the match one, we after we click, it means we selected, we break out, we jump out from the loop. So because we don't need to continue the loop anymore, because we found our desired the date. Okay, pretty much that's it. Let's save it and then run it. Okay, select it there. Okay, it looks off top, and select the 12, but didn't do anything. Okay, what's the problem? Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, it's saying this is selected value. Okay, it declares, and so looks like the problem here. You can see it's a selector. See it's a selector. Okay, it is at the. So it looks like the problem is here. Okay, click on that. Okay, looks like the problem is here. Saying this is a selector.
You see, I told you before, right? So
space.
So that's why very important. You do the coding.
Copying, the CSS selector again. Let's remove this one. And then oh, extra. Okay. String some ones that generate very much. Say let's check May. For some reason of in my machine, I think so, since I did so many times for December, so it's when you click the calendar, it's automatically goes first in December. That's from the cache. I have to clear the cache. Okay, and let's run it one more time. Let's this is my target is now is May. It doesn't matter, as long as it's a future month, it should work. Okay, so we got a little bit of issue. I feel like since this the driver defined element for the month was too long, it was the line for the month for CSS locator. What I did, I put the whole locator in a variable. It's called month, and then return type, it's just a wave element. Make sure you import the package, and then same thing I did before. So I just make the code a little bit easier and visibility. increase the visibility. So I'm saying month, it means nothing, the whole line that I used to just before, and then get text. So it will locate this, you follow this locator, which is the common locator for all the month. Then I'm saying get text, get the text where contains May. So using May, okay? And so it will not select the May, because when you click on the calendar, it will pop to the current month, so which is not, so this locator is not true. And I put negation. So negation of not true, it means it's true. So if the condition is true, it will get inside, and then it will, you know, click in this locator, which is the next button, until, and go back again, and it will compare again. If it is not true, it will click in again. So it will continue the clicking until it's find the month, it's May, and the date is fine. Let's save it and run it again. Finger crossed. Let's see. April looks good. May, select the date. Okay, here we go. See, it's selected May 12th, 2020. Very good. So we can minimize it. So pretty much that's it. Okay, it's a little bit tricky, I know. The month one, also the date, because the month and day and the day, both of them they use group. So we have to make sure that when we select the month, it's better to we have to journey traverse from parents to class and put in a variable that will make it easier the code.
Your current months very simple, right? You don't have to use the while, right? You put this variable, it will find automatically your current month, and then you just put in click, it will be selected current month. So you don't have to use this while loop, because it's by default it's popped up with the current month, right? So that's why I didn't show the current month. If you can do the future months, you can do the current months. Current months is much more easier. Make sense, right?
Yes, and one more thing, if I need to do the past month, sometimes we need to put the date for like previous month.
No, you can't. I mean, if your calendar is allow you specifically,
yeah, if the calendar
allow you specifically for travel or booking, any calendar will not allow you to go to the past month, right?
For the travel, like sometimes you need to do something different for previous month.
If your calendar is allow, the same thing you are gonna do. You will click on left. Then that time this button, the left click button, this one will be visible, right? It should active. So you can just will use the same while loop, same way you will put the code, and just you will select this left button, left click instead of the right one, and then it will match. The technique would be the same, right? Everything is said. This only you are going to spy this left next button, this button instead of this one, right? So it will take you the back, if it's active. If you will see after over here, since the booking one, so now it's currently September, there's no back button it's available, because it doesn't allow you, and it doesn't make sense. You can't book your previous date which is gone, right?
Clear? Yes. Sometimes we need to do the like previous month.
If your application is allow, if your application is such kind of application that's allow you to select, that time your calendar have to be option to available. If it's available, this button will be available over here. If it does, that's fine. Doesn't matter you go previous or feature.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Okay, so that's the calendar. Calendar is very important. Especially if there's a airlines application, you will see airlines or hotel application, you will always have the calendar. So next thing we're going to see, this will be one of the last one, code inbox automation.
Sorry, can you just go back to the code once?
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking of the web element month. So at this point, what's in the month?
web element for the month, right? This is
right.
Yeah.
So
one.
if you print, can we print the value of month? Can we do a sysout?
Yeah, it should be. Yes, you can put this one.
I'm just wondering what's in the month.
Sysout. Okay. Okay. Let's enter. System is terrible. Right. So let's put this one. Here is one. This is the one, or save it. My system is really slow, so it may fail, but it should, select your current month. It should print your current month. Oh god. So is that clear, the exercise? So we'll get all the total links from this page, then total links from the footer, the total links from the third column, then we'll open one by one all the link in a separate tab, in the child window, which is called separate tab, right? And how you can open, we'll see that's how we can open. Not if you click on there, it will open in the same window. You see it's open in the same window, not separate tab. So this is not a separate tab. Separate tab, it's like consider as a child window. It means it will open something like that. Control, and then you hit enter. Control, hit enter, it will open you another new window. You can see it's opening another new window, right? So we'll apply this keyboard action, control key. You're gonna hold your control key, then hit enter. It will open another new window. So that action we can put each and every link which will open, and when it's open, one by one will open, and your driver will jump to that page and will get the title of that page and will print it. So first of all, if you have a link, say any link, this link, anyone, say Maven, okay, right click in the link. What do you have? The HTML code. Let's go. So you have this is the HTML code. If you inspect this Maven, it has a link. Anyone, you will see it has the the URL, whatever the URL for this link will take you. So that's a URL, and then for that text, the Maven text here it's in the text, and the only one common attribute, which is a tag name. Tag name is a. You can say the common. This is one of the common attribute, the tag name for any link you have in your text, which is a. If you go this one, let's see the Jenkins, you will see the a tag name, right? This is the very common one. Any link you go in a text, you will see there is a start with the tag name a. So it means whatever link you have in this whole page, if you want to get all the active links, when I say active links, it means it has a text, and text have some URL, a valid URL. So, and if you in HTML code, it will start with the tag name a. So if we say driver.find elements by tag name is a valid attribute. Tag name equals to a. I put the value of tag name is a. It will find multiple elements. All the elements have link, valid link, and then I can use size method. It will give me the total number of valid link, right, from this page. So that's very easy. That's the easiest way you can find the total active links you have in this page. So your first thing is done. The second is how you gonna segregate the total active links you have in this footer. Because if you use, just notice, if you use the same command, driver.find elements, say use driver.find elements, and then if you say by dot tag name, and you put the value of the tag name, say a excuse me. If you say, then you put the size method. Okay. Size method. If you put the size method, right, what will happen? It will find this code will find that all the tag names, all the tags you have with a tag name with a, and size method will apply on this element, so it will find the total number of the links you have in your this page, the active links. But if you want to you want individually just the number of links you have in this footer, how are you gonna get it? Because all these links also have a started with the tag name with a. But if you put the same code, it will not find the tag, only the the links in this footer. It will find the again whole page. How are you gonna make the separate? How you are going to make segregate all of the links, this area, this footer area, from your total page? So you may need to know some of the technique that will help you to segregate, to make a subset, to make specified your some of the section of your page from the rest of the page. So that's for this kind of jobs you need to do. When you need to do, you have to limit your driver activities. So that's called limiting of your driver. Limiting of your driver, it means your driver, by this line will code, whatever line you write, it's execute by your driver. So your driver, if your driver is follow this line, it will find the total number of links in this page. But somehow if you can tell your driver, hey driver, follow this line, the same line I write over here, but this line will be only applicable in this footer. If you can tell these things to your driver, then your driver will know, okay, my activities will be limited to this footer, and then I will follow the code. So if you somehow say, I'm writing in English, you're saying your driver, your limitation of work in footer, in only footer. If you can say this part, your driver will be limited to work on this footer, and then your driver, and then you write this line. So this line will be applicable only this footer. So in footer, all the links we have started with the tag name A, and it will find the total number of tag length only from the footer. Similarly, when you go for your third column, you will say here driver, your limitation of work in only third column of the footer. So it will be only limited to third column, and then you write again same code. After that, this line will be applicable only on this third column, and then it will find only all the links started with the tag name by A in this third column. It will find all these things. Is it clear? Make sense how we can segregate your section from the whole page? So for doing this kind of job, this the limiting, the limiting of work of your driver is called driver's limitation. It's called driver's limitation. So that's the limitation. It's a technique that's help you to find that common element, common element from your whole page to from one specific section. Okay, we'll learn that technique, how we can do this. How can you do this? So here, the limiting first, it means I'm saying you are going to asking your driver to limit its works only footer. So it means you have to select your footer first. Somehow, if you can select your footer first, and then you locate this element, this whole footer, as in one single element, and from there, you say go first there, and then apply this code, and then apply this code. So how can you select the whole footer in as a one single element? You can do it, right? Let's right click here, see if we can do it. Here you can see column. This line, it's highlight the whole footer. So if you just say driver dot find element by, you can use class name, or if you need to, let's see if you, yes, this is the one. So if you use the class name and then you use this class, this one, this will help you to locate this footer first, and after that you apply. So your driver will be limited from there, and then so you put this one, you put this locator in a variable. So example, you say driver.find element by class name or whatever your locator, use this class attribute, right? The class attribute, and then you put in a variable. So you put in a variable. So this one, I'm not writing the code, just instead of this, you just assume that this is the locator of your footer, and you put in a, this one is a variable, say footer driver, whatever your variable will put, and it will be web element, right? Web element will be return type. Now this footer driver, this variable have the knowledge, about this locator. What is this locator? This locator is nothing, just a footer, right? So if you use now over here, you are going to use this variable instead of this driver. Now this variable is going to work as your driver, because this variable is nothing, it's the footer locator. So you are saying your drivers will limited to work, find the elements by the tag name only where? In this locator, in this locator. Is this locator is nothing, just this variable. So that's the way you are limiting your driver's activities in a specific area. Okay, so this will help you to find the total number of links by the tag name A in this footer. Similarly, here you are going to, for the third column, first you have to locate what is your third column. So again, you find your third column as a one single element. So if you just select this one, if you go here, this is your third column HTML code. So you can use ID or class. I think ID would be better option to select this. I think it's better to use this one. Yeah, this is the actual one. So this is the one, sorry. This is this again class name. So you can use this class name to highlight your third column and put in a variable over here. This is you put driver.find element by this, and then put in a variable, right? Put in a variable like third column footer or whatever you give a name, and then that variable use as a instead of driver. That variable will use as a instead of driver, so it will be limited scope. That's called your driver's scope limitation. So it will be limited to over here, and it will do the job. Will apply the code by the the tag name, so that it can find all the elements. Okay, so after that, so that's the way you can limit your driver scope, working scope. So now the next question would be, how is going to click on this all the link. So click a link. What I can use the best things, I feel like you can use keyboard activities. Remember, we use the keyboard activities. So how this will open in a new tab. If you just click your mouse, it will open in the same tab, but I want to open in a separate tab, like single child window. To do this, you have a keyboard key. It's called control. So control, if you see control, and then if you hit enter, control, hit enter, if you hold control button, hold control button and hit enter, it will open a new tab from a link. It will open in a child window, which is called child window. So it means I need to apply. So look at here. So I need to apply control plus. I have to apply control plus enter button, right? Control plus enter button. How many times? As many links I have. So if I I can run. So first of all, I will use again over here in third column, when I will use the size method. Then I will get the total number, the count. I can put this one in a count. Say again count. So count will have the total number of links I have over here. That count I can use in my for loop. So I will say for, then I will start say integer I equals to 0, right? And then I can say I less than count. So as long as you have the value of the count, it will continue the loop, and then I will do I plus plus, right? So this will help me. So it doesn't matter how many links you have. If you have 100 links, this loop will help you to go through. So you don't have to worry about the number of links you have in your in this element. And then my for loop would be, what would be by my for loop? For loop would be, you go based on your index number. So you use this same variable, not the size one, same variable. You use this same variable, right? Driver.find element. You use the same variable, same locator. So because this locator it's about all the links, and go again same get I based on index number I. It means it will start from the 0, the first one, and then here you want to click, right? You want to click. So how are you gonna click? So to do the click, you have to click over here. This is not something regular click. If you just put the click method, it will click, it will open in the same window, but I want to open in a child window. So to open in a child window, I have to use this two button, control and hit enter together. So remember to use any keyboard to perform any keyboard activities, keyboard activities from the keyboard, any key activities from the keyboard, we have to use send keys method, right? I think in Amazon, the exercise we did this. So your send keys, you pass the key. So what's your key? Your key would be keys dot control. I mean, sorry, not the control. It's called CTRL, right? But you have to put the two keyboard here. One is control, another one is enter. But in send keys, you can't put more than one key function. Send keys always take only one, not two. But you have to enter two. So to do this, what I can do, let's put this one. There's another method. Another method is to help you to enter multiple key function at the same time. That's called the driver. That's called chord method, CHORD, if I'm not wrong. Chord, we'll see on the video. So chord there's a called another method. That method allow you to put multiple key function from your keyboard. So you will say over here keys dot control, and then you will put the comma, keys dot enter. Okay, keys dot control, keys dot enter. This is control, it means CLTR. Yes, CTRL control, and then keys enter. So you can put this one driver.chord method inside. This will allow you multiple keyboard function from your keyboard. So you can put this one in another variable. Maybe you say click on links. So whatever you put the variable, and your return type would be string, because this method return a string variable. So you have the variable, click on links. It has the knowledge about this two keyboard function, right? So here now you can pass this key links, this variable, in your send keys. You can pass this over here. Now send keys have indirectly the knowledge of this command, which is control key, control key and hit enter together. Okay, so this function, this command will apply when is your index number I equals to 0. It means first one, so it will open a new window, and again the loop will continue, it will increase. Okay, so this will apply to open your new window. From one by one window will open, and then based on the loop will continue as long as you have this condition is true. So it means it will go one by one, or will open and apply every link, will open this command, will open a new window, and when it's done it will be jump out from the from the loop. And after that you can say go there, or when it's open in every window, you may put over here get the title, use the get title method. So every time it's open the new window will go after it's open, after this command is applied, you can use after that get title method to get the title from that specific page. So and then you can also print it, right? So everything you can put in the for loop, and when it's done you're out of the loop, and it's as long as your condition is true it will continue, and when its condition is false it will out of the loop and it's done. Okay, is that clear? Give you the idea how we can do the exercise?
Yes.
All right, let's see the video.
Something in this specific area. So in other words, we can say driver scope is limiting driver's activities from always email-based to one specific area, so that the driver can work only that area, which is called limiting driver scope. Okay, so today's we will have a demonstration. We'll have an example. We'll have an example in this page. Say in this page we have a lots of link, each and every
I'm just trying
post have a link, and also
I'll forward a little bit because we have already we know the exercise. Okay, so go back to the direct to the code. Okay.
I create a class. It's called driver scope example. In Selenium we have a project. It's called Selenium project. And then here, this is the prerequisite that I have to use the set property method, to use what kind of driver we're using, and it's the directory of the driver location. And then this is the relationship between the Chrome web driver interface and the Chrome driver class, so that we can use this driver variable and use all the related method from the Chrome driver. So I use the maximize method to maximize the page, and this is the user get method, and this is the URL for the page, the home page to land it. The first task is get the count of the total links on that page. So one more thing, to get the link, here is a one thing in development won't happen. Whenever any text or anything have a link, you'll see it has only one tag. It's called A. A is an anchor. You can see this Git or GitHub, this text have a link. You can see there is the opening, the tag is and tag name is A. Similarly, if the Jenkins, this one have a also link. You can spy it and see this is the HTML code, and it has also tag name A. So any text, any object, any element have a link, it will start with a tag. So this is common. So we can use the tag. Tag name is an attribute and A is the value. We can use that one to locate the to find out the total number of links we have in our page. Let's do it. So let's use, so first we'll try but find elements. Since we have to, here is the one thing, we have to use elements since it's going to be number of links, so it's more than one element. By dot tag name, we'll use the tag name attribute, and then we'll use the value will be A. We just have seen that each and every link have a tag name started with the A, and then we'll use size method. Size method will give us the total number of this by this tag name A. It means it's the total number of links, and then we can print. So if we print this, so it will give us total number. System.out.println. Okay. So this will print us the total number of link by the tag name A. Next, we have to do these things. We have to get the total links on the footer section. So to do this, so this is our second text, get the total links only on footer section. To do this, we have to limit our web driver to footer, and then we'll use again find element with the tag name specifically in footer, so that we can get the total number of links in the footer section. So let's locate the footer. How can we locate it? Use this spy. Okay, here is that. You can see it's select the only the footer section. So it means we have okay, let's okay. Okay, this is the HTML code. It's reflected footer. So let's use the footer. So we have class, and this is the value of the class. So we can use this class attribute and value, and then use the div with our tag name. So let's create. So driver dot find it. This time it will be element because we're locating one object, which is the footer. Driver dot find element by dot xpath and then we'll use // it's a div is the tag name, and then we'll use @ and what's our attribute? Attribute is a class name, is a class equals to, put the single quotation and paste the value of the class. Okay, and then semicolon. So this is the locator. This is the locator of the footer. Let's put this one in a variable. It's called footer driver. And the return type would be web element. Right? Let's hover your mouse and import the web element package. So it means now this footer driver it's limiting the driver. So we have the footer driver now have the knowledge only about this locator, which is the footer. So this is our driver. Now footer driver is not working as a footer, but it's limiting the scope from whole page to footer. So now we can use footer driver. We can use, this is our driver, footer driver dot find elements by dot tag name, and what is the tag name? It's a anchor a to find the total number of to locate all the links, and then size method will give us a total number of links by the tag name a. So let's print this, and then if we print this one, print this system.out.println, and then put the semicolon. Okay, so this will print the total number of links in our footer. Okay, now the next one would be locate the column, third column in the footer. Locate the third column in the footer and get the total number of links in third column. So again, we'll use this. Okay, let's locate our third column first. Select the third column. Use this one, spy. Okay, this is the one. Okay, this is the one. It looks like that, but it's a child of this. So if you select this, still you can see this is looks like that. You can see this is the first column, second column, and third column. So this is the actual HTML code for the third column. So it has a class and it has a value and it has the div with the tag name. So let's use again create an X path for this. So we'll use driver dot find element. This time again it's going to be element by dot X path pass the value. Okay, X path what it be? It's a div, and then at the rate class is the attribute name equals to single quotation, paste the value of the class name. Okay, put the semicolon, and so this will locate the column, third column. Let's put this one again in a column driver in a variable, and the return type would be web element, right? Web element. So now this column driver, this variable has the knowledge of the third column, only the third column. You can see this how we scoping or limiting our drivers option. So drivers now, this is our column driver, this is the variable is our driver now. It only can do anything about this locator, and this locator is nothing in the third column. So now if you want to find the total number of third column, it means this locator. So we'll use the column driver is our driver, column driver dot find elements. So since it's a link, total number of links, so it's more than one element, we'll use by dot tag name, and what's the tag name again? A, and then we'll use size method to give us the total number, and this will locate all the columns, all the links in column, third column, and size method will give us total number that related to this tag element, all the element by the tag name A. And we can, let's print this one. If we print, it will show us system.out.println. It will show us the total number of links in third column. So our next job is open all the tabs here, open all the tabs in a new tab, not in the same site. We'll open a new tab and then go visit one by one those new tab. It means the child window, and print get the title of each window and print it. Okay, so first to open, we have to go. We have to go to this link from here. This link, and then open it. So how you can open it? First, we have to traverse. To traverse, uh, we will use our driver. Will use a for loop. So we'll run a for loop. So we'll get the, we'll use the count method. We'll use the count. We'll see that how many links we have, and according to the total number of links, we'll use a for loop, and then inside the for loop, we'll say, okay, go to the first link and then open it. To open it, we'll use the keyboard activities. The keyboard perform. The keyboard perform is going to be, we'll hold the control key down, as well as we'll press enter. So it will open a new page. Like I'm holding now control key down, and also I'm clicking, or I'm hitting enter keyboard. At the same time, you'll see it's opening. So we have to use this command together in our for loop to open whenever it's traversed from one link to another link. It will apply this keyboard activities, open a new window, and the loop will continue until we have a total number of links. Let's do it. Okay. So our next task would be open all the tabs. To do this, well, okay. Okay, let's count the size of frame. Okay, let's put this one the column driver. So it's locate. This will get the total number of links in our column, in third column, right? Let's put this one in a count variable, and what will be, it's integer, so it will, since it will give us the total number, so I put it count variable. So now count, this variable has the total number of links in this footer, in this third column. So I can use this count for our for loop. So let's use the for loop for, I'll say, initialize first integer I equals to started from 0, and then my I condition will be less than count this variable, and then I plus plus, right? So it means I will start from I equals to 0. It means it will start from here, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it will round, but it's totally, it will go, the loop will continue 4. That's why I put, and this count will return as 4. So since I started with the 0, so it will, that's why I put I less than count. So it will loop 4 times, but since it started from 0, so it will loop until from 0 to 3, which is 4 times. Let's put our for loop. So what do you want to do? Here is the one thing we have to know. I think we all already know, but here is the one thing. That's keys command. If we want to use any key in our keyboard, so to do any activities in through our keyboard, like using the keys, like keys dot, for example, keys dot control or keys dot enter, we have to use this keys command through inside our send keys method. So send keys, inside that we have to tell this keys the keys command. To do this, what we can do, the keys, as I said, to open a new tab, we have to use keys control and keys enter, these two together, and we can put this together. We have another method. It's called keysCard. KeysCard. Inside this, we can pass two arguments. One argument will be keys.control. Another one is keys.enter. So this whole thing, I can put in a variable. It's called click on link tab, and it's a return tab. You can see it's a string because you will see when we use this, send keys will have a return tab is string. That's why we'll put this variable return tab also is string, so that we can type this variable inside this send keys method. So it means when you say link this variable link on click on link tab, it means you are saying the whole thing. You are saying this the whole keys.card method, and inside this keys control and keys enter. So indirectly you are passing this whole command inside this send keys method. It means it will perform, it will do when you use this send keys, this whole code to any locator or any object, it will perform on that locator. Okay, let's see. So we'll say keys dot card keys.ch is a method. You can see here also when you use keys.card method, it's return a string. So that's why our return type would be a string. So value would be, we will say again keys dot first is a control. This is control and comma. We'll use the next one keys dot enter. See enter. Okay, here is thing, and put this whole thing in a variable. It's called click on link. Click on link. So let's say click on link tab, and the return type would be string as we saw. The keys.card, this is the method, it's a return type is string. So we're putting this method in this variable, so return type should be a string. Okay, pretty good. Now we're going to, our object is go to each and every link, traverse each and every link, and then apply this command, which is this variable, to the send keys method, so that it's open. Click, it's a click on that link and open in a new tab. So how can you traverse? Now we have to traverse. So traverse will say this is column driver. Now this is the column driver. It's working as a driver for this specific third column. So we'll say column driver dot find element. Since it has more than one link, so we'll say find element by dot tag name. What's the tag name? Again, it's same. It's a, and then it will use get method. Get index number would be I. So our first I is 0. So here it will locate all the links what have a tag name. It's a tag name. It's a, and then that link will start by the I value 0. So we'll go to the first one, and then we'll use send keys method and pass this variable. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm saying this is our driver, find elements, all the links or all the element has a tag name by a, and started by the first one is get I. When is I 0, it means the first one. When is the and then put this apply this command, which is send keys, and this key command. So it will open this by doing this part. It will open a new tab for this specific element. this is specific element. It means I equals to 0 is the first one, and it will go back to the loop, increase the I value, so which is going to be the next one, and do the same job again and again until this condition is true. Okay, so this way we'll traverse each and every link and I will open a new tab. So after we open a new tab, what we want to do, we're going to let's one more thing. Since it's going to open a new tab, let's we need to put some weight, or because it's gonna be click and open a new tab and the driver will go back. So let's put some thread sleep. Okay, so waiting time, thread to sleep, and let's do, say, maybe 5 seconds. Let's new. Click on add thread declaration. Okay, so I added a thread slip, a little bit of wait, like 5 seconds. Every time it's click on a new link and open a new tab. So better to put a thread slip so that it's open a new tab and to have a better synchronization between our driver and the new object or new page. Okay, and then now we have to traverse each and every window and then get the title from that window. To do this, it means it has the first page. This page is our home page. This is our parent page. And when you open a new tab by this and another tab by this, all those are child page. So it means we have to traverse our driver. We have to tell our driver traverse from parent page to the child pages, and then when you traverse every page, get the title from there. So to traverse from parent page to child page or child window, we have to use a method. It's called get window handles method. So which is get window handles method. So to do this, what are you gonna do? We'll use our driver dot get window handles method. Use the get window handles method and put in a variable, for example a, and it's a return type. But here is the important thing. Okay, let me write it and then I will explain you. Return type would be the string and it will put in a set. Okay, here is a. So what does it mean? It means so we'll use the get window handles method. Get window handles method. It's a method used to traverse from parent page to parent window to child window. And when you use this, we use a variable. We put in a variable a, and it's a variable type would be the return type, because those are the so return type is a string, and we put this, since it's a multiple windows, so we'll put in a set container. Set is a Java collection. It's another concept, but set is a use only when you have a unique window, unique element. It should be unique. So each and every child window is a unique window, unique element. We put in a set is like a container. Okay, put in a container and put a one by one element or one by one page, sub page or child page, so that we can traverse. We can set up a pointer and we can traverse a one by one page, and we get the title or whatever we need to do on that page. And when all the traverse is done, we have to tell our driver get back to the default window. It means to the parent window. So let's here it's a set. We have to hover your mouse. We have to import the set package, which is Java util. And then we have, so now we have a set. We create a set container, and using by this, so we have to traverse this container. It will have all the child windows. So to traverse this, we can use another method. So a variable now have the knowledge of this all the windows. So in this set container, so we have to create a pointer, which is it means we have to traverse this set container. So use this a dot iterator. Iterator is a iterator is a method. Iterator is a method, and then using iterator is a method used to traverse our set container. So again, a dot iterator. So let's put in a variable called itr, and the return type will be again string, and then this is the data return type is string, and its a type is iterator class. Iterator, right? Then hover your mouse, import the iterator. Okay, package.
Please try to focus that what was the wrong over here. When you import a package, that's why importing a package is very important. Please see this, let me go a little bit back and see when I import the package, what package I imported.
Iterator, right? Then hover your mouse, import the.
Okay, you can see I'm choosing the first one, import iterator, the Java X swing text HTML blah blah blah, right? So I select this one. So because I select the wrong package, as I said, it's a the set interface, iterator method, all those things are part of Java util package. Before, when we import the package for set, I selected Java util, but this time I select different package. So that makes the conflict. It means it's not the right package. So as a result, this method is not getting the code from the Java util package where all the code is there, right? So that's why you will see there is an error, and then you need to. So this is important things. So sometimes when you see the video, it's very quick happen over there. Okay, import this package, but when you do in real life, if you just make that mistake, you will see that it's not your method is not working because it's not getting the code from this appropriate library package.
The iterator, okay, package.
You'll see the what type of the problem I'm facing, and to solve it, if you don't know, then you will try all different wrong steps.
Let's put in the time. Java into the iterator. Okay, that's fine. It should be, but it should up here. Java.
So you remove the wrong package.
Java, sorry, import this iterator, import iterator Java util. This one. Okay, here it's good now. Okay, and now, so this iterator, the ITR, this is a pointer. This will point to this set container. Okay, so now this ITR will start to traverse in set container. So it's ITR, you can say, is a pointer. So it means it's point to this set container, and this set container has all the child window. So what we can do to traverse, we can use a for loop. We say the variable ITR, it will check this set container, this pointer will check first if it has a next element. If it has a next element, then go to the next, then traverse there. Okay, it means if it
Okay.